1/6 scale action figures. It was a childhood dream of mine to start collecting these, and thankfully, now that I'm a big boy with big boy money, I'm able to get them. I don't get tons, I don't get every single one that I want. I really hyper focus on things that are very specialized to my particular tastes. I have to really, really, really enjoy something to warrant getting its 6th scale figure. And yeah, here's my top 10. These two right here are honorable mentions, and I actually want to elaborate on this. This is not a top 10 of ones that came out in 2022. These are my pickups. So some came out, the previous year, or, years and years before. However, these are basically all 12 of 6 scales that I actually did get in 2022, so I figured I'd just go ahead and show them all off. And these are the honorable mentions. It is the Cobra Trooper and Beachhead from the Sideshow G.I. Joe range. Now, I think Sideshow G.I. Joe is something to really honor and acknowledge because G.I. Joe was the thing that started the whole 1/6 scale trend. It was good old G.I. Joe, classic stuff back in the 60s and 70s. That's what really kicked it off. So the fact that there's still 1/6 scale G.I. Joe stuff makes me really happy. However, I wish there was more of it. But I do have to say, these are very awesome figures. They're very fiddly, not the most fun. However, I still really love this Beachhead and Cobra Trooper, even though they are just honorable mentions. However, the bottom of the list will actually have 2 more G.I. Joe figures. Number 10 on the list is the 3-0 previews exclusive, or whatever exclusive, I don't know. It's basically the homage to V2 Storm Shadow. The good old camouflage and the hood and all that. I love Storm Shadow. I thought about getting the standard one, but then when I saw that they were doing an homage to V2, yes please, all in. V2 Storm Shadow is my favorite look for Storm Shadow. So yeah, I love it. Had to have it. The cool thing about the V2 look is you could kind of decide and figure out, what is he going to be? Is he, a Cobra Ninja? Is he a G.I. Joe Ninja? You can decide, because by the time of V2, it was kind of up in the air. Storm Shadow is really cool. I love him. This is a very nice figure of him. I just wish he came with a display base. But despite that, I still really enjoy him. However, number 9 goes to the Sideshow Cobra Viper. Love this guy. This was a Sideshow G.I. Joe that I really, really wanted. Even though it does have some issues, like it has some things that kind of come off after a while. You can see that's starting to wear away. However, that's just the nature of this kind of material aging. It's still an awesome figure, though. I love the Viper, one of my favorite Cobra Troopers. The only Sideshow G.I. Joe I still really need to go back and get is the Crimson Guard, and I'm hoping his costume doesn't have a similar degradation that the thigh panels on this Cobra Trooper do, or this Cobra Viper do, I should say. However, love this guy. Like many other G.I. Joes, though, he's kind of a pain to assemble, and I can actually see that his belt right here has actually come undone. So I have to re-latch this. You can just see with me how fiddly this can be. All the latching and everything. There we go. Relatched. Nice and good. Love this guy. Definitely worthy being on the list. So spoiler alert, after this one, it's all Hot Toys from here. But I did get Damn Toys Assassin's Creed 2 Ezio this year, and I love it. It's so great. So fantastic. It's my boy Ezio. I love it. I actually decided to get the Storm Collectibles Sub-Zero to kind of have a little bit of a video game thing going on. And I actually do have that Sub-Zero. However, I got it within 2023 because I'm filming this early January. So Sub-Zero, he'll give it a year. You'll see him. I actually kind of decided this year to stop reviewing every single 6th scale that I got, because I want to focus my channel more in on Star Wars 3¼ inch and Transformers and all that. And the 6th scale stuff, it's just it's a little above my league to really tackle doing a review of, but I still love them. And this Damn Toys Ezio is an amazing figure. It's funny, we went from no base to generic base to one of the best bases I have in 6th scale. Look at that base. That is gorgeous. I think every 6th scale figure should have a nice, fancy display base. And it's unfortunate that not every company realizes that. Alrighty, with that, though, we're moving on to Hot Toys. And it is shocking to me that this figure is so low on the list. But that just shows how many amazing, stunning figures I've gotten. Honestly, the next, I can say, 3 or 4, they could be interchangeable on the list, because I love them all fairly equally. Next up is Hot Toys Jango Fett. This was one of the very first 6th scale impulse purchases I have ever made. I walked into the toy department, and I had just gotten paid, and I was like, you know what, $280? Why not? Let's just do it. Let's just do it. It's only money. So I bought him, and I have no regrets. It's Jango frickin' Fett, man. I needed this. I needed Jango Fett. And it's great. It's so great. I love how shiny he is. I love the sharpness of the blue on the helmet. It's just so gorgeous. It is such a gorgeous figure. I can't get enough of it. And let's just say I'm starting a certain display that, I mean, you're going to see for yourself. I'm going pretty in on some certain Mandalorian characters. It might reach a point where I can't fit them all on the desk anymore, but I will try my best. Next up is the Mandalorian Hot Toys Dark Trooper. This guy's so tall, I actually have to tilt the camera up a little bit. So yes, he's a fingerprint magnet, which is unfortunate. However, it's the Dark Trooper. I love Dark Troopers. I had to get the Hot Toys Dark Trooper immediately. Here, let's turn his light on while I'm talking about him. Here, where's the switch? Where's the switch? In the back. There we go. Let's get that light on. Look at that. Man, I just see him and I just... The theme, the dubstep Star Wars theme tune to the Dark Troopers just enters my mind, and I adore this thing. It's very well articulated. It's basically a replica of the on-screen robot. Like, all the joints work the same. It looks the same. It functions essentially the same. It's gorgeous. Like I said, it is a fingerprint magnet. I have to clean it off fairly regularly, and I'm going to have to clean it off again before I put it back in the case. But, ooh, I love it. I'm not sure if I'm going to be reviewing 6th scale stuff moving forward. Let me know in the comments below if you really want to see it. But I thought about reviewing this guy so much, I just couldn't find the time. I had so much other stuff to talk about. But as soon as this guy went up for pre-order, I knew I had to get it. As soon as they showed up in the show, I told myself, if they make a Hot Toys, I'm going to buy it. And yeah, I did. And you know what? I love it. Anyways, next up, you have to forgive me. I actually gave him some accessories to another figure, so it's not necessarily accurate. But I did get the Mandalorian Season 2 Boba Fett, the repaint armor. Man, my desk is just so covered in stuff, you can even see the lamp. They're so big, man. They're so big, but they're so impressive. So you can see, I've got Daddy, I've got Son, and my favorite look for Boba Fett is actually the repaint armor. I really love how it looks. I just think it looks so gorgeous with, like, the green and the black. It's just such a contrast to his father's, like, shiny colors. You know, just seeing that same armor all of these years later, just, you know, beaten up and matted down and repainted. It's really cool to see it, you know? Even though it's not super show accurate, I still love seeing all the little texture of where the armor was worn down. It's almost like, yeah, the Beskar was a little eroded by that Sarlacc stomach acid, so you still kind of see or was a little worn down. Even though it's not super show accurate, it did look more smooth than this figure does, because they just repainted the totally beat up Mandalorian armor for Boba Fett. I have to say, it's still a gorgeous figure. And he actually ranks above Jango and the Dark Trooper, just purely based on fun factor, because he is a super fun figure to play with. He's super posable, because he has so much exposed cloth that he's one of the most posable Star Wars 6th scale figures I own. It is so good. Alright, next up. This was a Christmas present. I never thought I would own Hot Toys Paz Visla, but I do. So I do have Din Djarin, I do have the Mandalorian. However, I love the armor for Paz Visla. The character himself, you know, he doesn't have a deep root to my childhood or my teenage years, like pretty much everything else on this list does, but it is just a damn cool Mandalorian armor. Paz Visla, personally, for me, has my favorite Mandalorian armor in the entire franchise. So I wanted his 6th scale figure. However, it sold out very quick. I didn't really have time to think about it. And I was just like, oh, well, you know, so much for the heavy infantry Mandalorian. You know, they showed Paz Visla with, you know, maybe just a couple different accessories at a show that might come out. But hey, you know, many thanks, mi hermano, for a beautiful, beautiful Christmas gift. He and his wife really pulled through on this. This is something else. Thank you very much. I never thought I'd own this guy. So we have 3 figures left, but I'm not sure how much space I'm really going to have to show them. So this guy came out in like December-ish 2021, but I didn't get it until very early 2022. Hot Toys Captain Rex. Oh yeah, you know he had to be high up. So, I wasn't the biggest Captain Rex fanboy until Clone Wars Season 7. And then I really realized just how great of a character Captain Rex is. You know, he is still like the default everybody's favorite, you know? 9 times out of 10, you're going to see someone on the street, who's your favorite clone trooper? Captain Rex, you know? Maybe think of something a little bit more original, but other than that, Captain Rex is a great character. You know, he's Anakin's clone trooper. He's the only one to defy Order 66, pretty much. And it's only because he knew what Fives knew. If that interaction with Fives didn't happen, he wouldn't have known. Like, he would have just went along with it. You know, he was just like, wait, this is happening. Fives was right. Like, he had this realization. It was so cool to see. You know, that's why he's the only trooper to have survived Order 66 with his personality intact. And that is because of Fives. So I love his character. I love how it's evolved. And this figure commemorates his character beautifully. Some people have had complaints about the helmet sculpt, given how the Phase 1 visor isn't super accurate to a genuine, realistic Phase 1. They kind of base the sculpt a little bit more on the animated side. But in my opinion, I think it looks better than having the curved, you know, visor of a Phase 1. Having the sharp turn at the visor makes it look a lot better to me. Gorgeous figure. Absolutely love it. It's one of the best clone trooper toys ever made. Period. I might be able to fit the last 2 on the desk. We'll see. It's so funny. My desk just casually has thousands of dollars of toys on it. So, this blew my mind when I got it. I love Batman, if you know me. And the DX-19 is one hell of a Batman. This is remarkable. I don't feel like my lighting can really do these figures justice. I just really don't. Because I'm not set up to show off figures that are hyper-realistic like this. However, this Christian Bale Batman, I look at it. Out of all of my Hot Toys and all of my 6th scale, I look at this and I'm like, that's Christian Bale. I have Christian Bale in my cabinet right now. It's nuts. The design of the suit, the armor, the coloration, the articulation, everything. This is peak 6th scale. It is great. I'm so happy I got it. And I thought it was going to be my only 6th scale Batman, but give it a year, I'm pretty sure my top 6th scales of 2023 is going to include Robert Pattinson Batman. I think I got to get that one too. And I might get a Michael Keaton if they reissue it. I don't know. They showed it at a toy show. I might get Michael Keaton. It'd be kind of cool to have like the 3, in my opinion, best live-action Batmans in a display. That look gorgeous. So there's number 2. And believe it or not, number 1 is one I actually almost forgot that I got this year, because I got it so early in the year. I actually ordered this New Year's Eve of 2021. And I actually thought I got it in 2021, but nope, it was this year. My number 1 6th scale pickup was the Hot Toys die-cast Iron Man Mark 45. Without a doubt, my top. Without a doubt, my number 1. We're getting so big, you're even seeing my extra little weird light thing up top. I don't really care. Like, I have so much 6th scale on my desk right now. Look at that figure. Look at this. Gorgeous. So I knew I only wanted 1 6th scale Iron Man figure, and I knew it had to be this Mark 45. I knew it had to be. Man, my desk, I'm so drawn back now. It's hilarious. I'm sorry you get to see all the behind-the-scenes stuff. I can't help it. This Iron Man is truly stunning, truly something else. And it's by far my best pickup this year, period, out of everything. Every action figure, every robot, everything. That is definitely my favorite pickup of the year. And I can say it might be one of my favorite Hot Toys. However, you can see I'm starting to get a lot of Hot Toys. I'm starting to get a lot of 6th scale stuff. And I'm personally loving it. I love that I can have these in my life. I love it. However, I feel like you can always have too much of a good thing. So that's why I like to collect these in moderation where I can. Like with Iron Man, I love Iron Man. Favorite Marvel superhero, by far. Am I going to get more? No. This is going to be my only Hot Toys Iron Man, because the Mark 45 is my favorite suit, and this is it. This is the only one I'm going to have. However, I'm very happy with that. It's kind of funny, though. I'm thinking about getting more Batmans, and, you know, I have, like, Boba Fett, Jango Fett, and all that. But with Iron Man, I just know, like, if I got another Iron Man, yes, I would love it. But given how this is my favorite Iron Man suit, I don't think I would love it more than this. And like I said, truly, my camera cannot do these justice. The sheen on this armor was designed to resemble a Ferrari, and looking at it in person, yeah, this is a Ferrari, a wearable Ferrari. That's what the Mark 45 is. I adore this figure. Even the display base. Definitely the best display base I have in my collection. Like, lifting it up a little bit. Like, look at that. You know, beat up Sokovia, a destroyed Ultron drone. It's amazing. I'm very picky with what Marvel characters I want in 6th scale. I'm getting the No Way Home Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. I'm getting that one. I have that one on pre-order. I would consider getting a Daredevil. I would consider Charlie Cox Daredevil, but I'm not super happy with the original one Hot Toys did, and I don't think I would get a She-Hulk one. Not the biggest fan of that whole show. But, you know, maybe from the new show, if I like his design and I like the show enough, I might grab that one. But there we go. There's my top 10 6th scale pickups of 2022. Let me lift it up again. Again, I apologize. You get to see all my lights and everything. I can't help it. These figures are over 12 inches tall, you know? With the display bases, they get pretty big. I love them so much. It's going to be kind of a pain to put them all back in the cabinet. But you know what, man? I really had fun showing you. I love these figures. They are phenomenal, like I said. If you can get a hold of a Hot Toys in your life, they do change your collecting life. They really do. If you're a Clone Trooper fan, I think you owe it to yourself to get something like Hot Toys Captain Rex. Like, if you are a Captain Rex fan, you know, don't spend that $250 on, you know, like, you know, 10 or so Black Series figures. Spend it on one Hot Toys Captain Rex. You will not regret it. You will not whatsoever. Alrighty, guys, there we go. The last top 10 of 2022 is said and done. I love doing these. I love looking back on them. I know these videos years and years from now I'm going to look back on and think, oh man, remember in 2012 when I got like tons of 6th scale stuff, and now it's like 2025 and I got one, you know, because I don't see me being able to collect these like this forever. I can't. It's too expensive. I'm in a position financially currently where I can, but I don't think it's going to last for much longer. Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Special shout out to the channel members. Started it fresh, changed from Patreon to channel members. So slow going, but thank you guys so much for joining on to the membership if you have already. Alrighty, and there we go. Have a great one, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.